Welcome to Tigers Untapped, a Bluff City media podcast. Stepping up to the microphone are your hosts, Trey Lasley and TJ Willis. Now, let's get to the show.
Well, hello, I'm Trey Lasley, your host with TJ Willis and producer Kenneth Stubblefield live for episode 89 of Tigers Untapped.
Did y'all hear that in the intro?
Hear what?
Hear what?
Something inappropriate.
Oh, yeah. How's that inappropriate? You sound a little raspy this week.
Been smoking too much, man.
The vape
I don't think that's it. I think you got that funk, my boy.
I got that funk.
How was the weekend, my fella dudes?
Hey, before
Did
I forget,
you guys hit up the St. Jude Classy?
I went out there for about an hour on Friday.
Same.
Yeah, I was on the 17th.
For about an hour, and I was like, I watched Scotty play 16, 17, and 18, and I rolled out of there.
So me and you were close to each other because I was on the 17th fairway for about an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I always like going out there, but it was just hot.
So hot, dude.
Yeah,
brutally hot.
There, like the day I went last year, it had actually rained right before we went out there, and it cooled it off, so it was decent. It was super decent.
Yep.
This year it just wasn't. It was a little bit miserable the whole time.
Hey, before we get into the show, I want to make a quick announcement. For those that are listening to this show on audio podcast, I want to make a big announcement that we have moved over our podcast network to the Believe Network. For those of you who don't know who the Believe Network are, they are a national network of podcasts that have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of podcasts. And they reached out to us and said, hey, we love your content, specifically the Tigers Untapped show. We'd love to have you guys come on board with us. We will help you with distribution. We'll help you with a lot of the back end stuff that you guys will need. If you will bring your shows over to the Believe. There's a new RSS feed. It'll be linked into the description below for this podcast and for this update. I'll also say the RSS feed will have, it's not just the Tigers Untapped RSS feed. It is the Bluff City Media Podcast Network feed. And it'll be a one-stop shop for all of our podcasts. So not only Tigers Untapped, but you'll also get Anthony Sain Show, On the Bluff, the No Bluffing podcast. We're trying to get a few others over to it, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you subscribe to that feed, that RSS feed, it'll be a one-stop shop for all of your favorite Bluff City Media Network shows. So shout out to Believe, shout out to all those guys over there. So
mentioned us specifically. TJ and I have been signed.
Yes, you've been signed.
Something like that.
There is no signing bonus, unfortunately, but you've been signed. They said they reached out and said we were strolling.
If they're gonna help out with my backside, then that's fine.
They said we were looking through some big game boomer tweets, and we saw that Tigers Untapped was the highest rated Tiger sports podcast in the entire United States of America.
It's a true story.
That's right. I bet that's right. Well, cheers to the Believe Network. Timothy, tell the fine folks at home and those listening what we're drinking this summer's eve.
Meddlesome's Watermalone, which again, this is another beer I think we may have done, and it was in those.
Never, not a chance.
Nope.
I had like Nickelodeon vibes. I think it's because if you guys remember Face from Nickelodeon.
Hi there, Face here.
Yeah. I think it was the eyes doing it, but Natalie loved this can and said it was giving her like Sesame Street vibes.
I checked the ingredients on this. There's no strawberry.
That's
good.
I
would hope not. It's called Watermalone.
I am just so glad
the last one didn't say it's going to have any either. So
I need to water my lawn. It's dying.
Yes, mine is too.
This morning, last night, tomorrow morning.
Chris B. Hurts to walk on barefooted these days.
It's a rough go right now there, boys.
Did you fellas see who else was out at the tournament repping the Tigs?
Was it
Inside
Cat
the
Williams?
ropes? It was Cat Williams.
Yeah, man. I was out at
Wow.
Ranch for the Danny Thomas Pro-Am on Thursday, and I saw him out there, and I was like, well, what the hell? My favorite comedian of all time.
What were you doing out there?
I was doing some filming with some special VIPs.
Oh my gosh, you get to do all the cool stuff. Why were TJ and I not in this? We could have been doing
I was at the Children's
exclusive
Museum.
interviews and stuff.
Well, I'll say this. I didn't know if I went there under the invitation from somebody else and didn't know if the special VIP that I was going to be talking to would actually want me there. And so I had to go in pretty incognito. I'll be honest with you. So I had to go in and
TJ and I can do incognito.
I had to go in and be very low key in there, just chilling, doing my thing.
So is this content that you've created something? Is this something coming out?
No, it's not for Bluff City Media.
Oh,
sorry.
All right. Well then.
Wow.
That settles that. Fellas, it was an exciting Monday a little bit for the basketball schedule. Those who are all into that. We got a couple of, oh my goodness, this Watermalone.
Wow, starting early.
Sorry to listeners.
Jeez.
We got a couple updates. First, the Maui Invitational bracket's been released.
Yeah.
And wouldn't you know it, day one, you Tigs are taking on
defending
the back-to-back
defending
national champions.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm gonna
It's
be
an
honest.
awesome thing. What are we talking
I know
about?
it is. It's awesome. But
you got nothing to lose. You got nothing to lose. No, I will say,
and let's be frank, they ain't gonna be as good as they were last year. Tell you that right now.
I've heard that before.
They won't be as good as they were.
They'll still be good.
They'll be pretty daggone good.
They'll be pretty good.
But this is shaping up, fellas, to be one hell. One hail of an OOC.
Yeah.
Did you see that bracket? Did you see that bracket?
Yeah, I can't find the actual bracket like
the teams that are in it, right?
I saw the teams that are in that, and I'm assuming how John Rothstein put them out was how they would maybe be in the bracket. So it looks like we will either play Michigan State or Colorado in game 2, pending result.
Auburn, Iowa State,
North Carolina, Dayton. Can you imagine? Imagine this. Imagine we beat UConn night 1. Night 2, you go out there, you beat Michigan State, and then you knock off North Carolina in the championship. Are you serious?
I mean,
are you serious?
It sounds like to me, if you were to take these 8 teams that he's put out there, it sounds like to me that Memphis and Dayton are probably the 2 lowest rated teams that are in that, right? Yeah. So UConn's probably number 1 or number 2. North Carolina's number 1 or number 2. Then you got Michigan State, Colorado, Auburn, Iowa State. And it's like, that's shaping up to be a nasty couple stretches of games right there, man.
Yeah. Could be a lot of fun over there in Maui. I hate that I'm missing that.
It's a good thing to have that as your schedule, right? I mean, obviously your conference schedule isn't going to do you any favors. So getting any type of good competition any way you can is fantastic. It just, sometimes you don't want to ask for like the full throttle, maybe just like a 80% throttle. I feel like we're getting 100% throttle here.
Oh, we're going 0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah, just maybe ease onto it, maybe not come out of the gate straight up.
0 to 100. Well, there's no looking back now, Timothy, because it's set and ready to rock and roll.
Yeah.
That's not the only update that we got schedule wise, though. announced not long after that a charity exhibition event where the Tigs are facing another preseason top 5 team, maybe NATO's best team he's had in the Alabama Crimson Tide over there in Huntsville, the Rocket City Classic, they're calling it, these folks. Little charity exhibition. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I don't know how many Tigers, like, are we going to be able to watch this? Is it going to be a pay-per-view event? I tell you, I'm not going to be able to go to Huntsville, Alabama on a Monday night for this.
Yeah, I think I'm going to stay into the ballpark of I like the game because it's a good team. Another game against a good team. I just don't know.
It doesn't mean nothing.
Yeah, I just don't know what it does for you other than just seeing where you're at. And like you also don't know if
even then
it's a situation of Alabama's just out there trying stuff out, or are they like actually trying to win the game? Like, what are you doing? Like, can you read anything from it?
Yeah. Like, are we actually going to be playing our real rotation, or is it just like
like what?
Is it a fun charity event?
Sounds like a fun charity.
Some people are worried about risk of injuries in that one. I've never been one that like shies away from stuff. I mean, these dudes are playing basketball all the time.
Yeah, man, come on.
In a game that's doesn't count or meaningless, like I don't think their chances of getting hurt are any high. I don't have the data, Jacob. I haven't seen all the data. Our buddy Jacob loves data.
I would suspect that if you
don't have any more chance of injury just playing in an exhibition game versus any other game.
I would suspect that if a team comes in or if a player comes in with nagging injuries, they won't play.
Right.
Like if they come in with nagging injuries,
if you're not 100%, you got something dinged at, you're sitting that one out.
Yeah.
And we did lose Malcolm for almost an entire year when they played Alabama. Them dirty dudes over in Bama. Come on.
I thought you were, but I mean,
that's how. Yeah, I didn't think you were going there.
I mean, I don't think that was at fault of anybody from Bama, but if you were going to mention the Tulsa game, then I'd have been all over that. Speaking dirty ass court,
dirty floors,
slick, slipping and sliding, breaking kneecaps and shit. Have they been penalized for that? Unbelievable.
Do you remember how much of an uproar Memphis Twitter was when that happened?
Everyone was pissed about dirty floors.
I was livid.
We went nuts. Everybody went nuts. They don't even have a towel.
That they can't dry their floors off.
And then it ended up like not even being.
He just blew his knee out.
He said he didn't slip.
It just exploded.
It sure is. I mean, I've never seen a knee do that and make it look like you slipped. Like, I mean, it looked like my guy was on literally ice, the slickest ice ever. Elsa had powered that court up.
Elsa.
Oh
gosh, dude.
Anyway, shaping up to be a fun out of conference basketball schedule. Hopefully, we don't put all of our focus and effort on our out of conference this season. And say that that's our entire season. Because you play those 13 games.
They mean more.
18. You got 18 after them left to go. Don't we play 18 conference games? Yeah. Or 16. I think it's 16. Regardless, you got a whole nother half of the season to go. But those two games are fun. Two legitimate Final Four, probably favorites to make the Final Four preseason wise. So you're going to get early and often you're getting tested to see where you're at. You be battle ready come January.
Which is a harder, based on what you've seen, do you think last year's non-con was harder than this year's, or do you think this year's looks tough?
This one's harder.
Yeah, I'd say this year.
I think last year's initially, name-wise, it looked like it was going to be bigger because you're talking about Villanova, Michigan, but those are in Arkansas. Like
Michigan was booty, Arkansas was booty.
You also have hindsight in the ability to know that those teams turned out to be
just not what they were advertised at all.
And right now, even though the Alabama game's exhibition, I mean, that's a top 5 team. UConn's top 5. You got Michigan State.
UConn's top 15.
10, whatever. You sure?
They're
What are they sitting
13th,
at?
13th in Torvik.
Okay. All right. Whatever.
Whatever
Some people will
stats.
probably have them top 10.
Yeah.
But Michigan State, North Carolina, Ole Miss at home, Missouri. Who else do we have?
Why
Virginia,
did you just say it like that?
Clemson.
Missouri. You sound like my grandmother right now.
Is that not
Missouri.
how you say it?
It's Missouri, bro. How do you say?
Missouri?
How do you say the state that Chicago is in?
Illinois.
Illinois.
Y'all are so old. Y'all are the youngest old people, or the oldest young people I've ever met in my entire life.
We're clearly
No.
kidding. It's Illinois.
I don't. What is that Illinois and Missouri game? That rivalry game called?
He said Missouri.
They play that big rivalry game. Is it the border? No. What's the border war?
I thought it was going to be an Oaken bucket, but I don't think that's right at all. That's somebody else.
I'm getting it.
It's the arch rivalry.
Bragging rights.
What?
That's what they call it.
Bragging rights. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. Illinois and Missouri is bragging rights.
You keep
Anyway.
saying Missouri, dude.
I don't know what you want me to say. That's how you say
Missouri.
it. Missouri.
You say Missouri.
TJ is so locked in on college football. It's unbelievable. And then he has the audacity to text us. I will send him a meme about it or a video, and he'll be like, damn, I wish I could play it.
You know what I'm doing
Look
right
at his
now?
eyes.
I'm playing the first quarter for the fourth time since Kenny and I have been on this call.
It sounds like that's 4 quarters of football you've played. They just
It's
all happen
one
to be
quarter.
the very first one.
It is 1 quarter.
All right, 2 other nuggets.
Before y'all move on to that, I have a question for you.
What?
Do you think that in any way the Memphis Athletic Department, Memphis Sports, have scheduled all these Missouri games knowing that they'd be facing off against former athletic director Laird Veach and his new programs?
No, there's no way.
There's no way they would have known that.
Do you think they feel some kind of way? Like, yeah, we just beat, because the Memphis women's soccer team just beat Missouri for the 2nd straight year.
I saw that. I didn't even realize they were playing them. I saw that last night, though. It is weird how frequently we're playing them and everything now.
Yeah,
but I don't think it has anything to do with.
Yeah, I bet they're like.
I mean, these had to, at least basketball that was 2 years ago. This was scheduled, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's been trying to get the Missouri job for 4.
Football was probably scheduled before Veach was even here.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a Tom Bowen thing?
Very long time ago.
I'm just messing around, but I just think it's hilarious.
It is funny that it's worked out that way, though.
Well, you got to find one SEC team that's going to play you. Ole Miss and State aren't going to do it anymore. Tennessee's not going to do it.
Ever.
Arkansas might be.
Well, they definitely are in football. We already know that.
Yeah, we host them next year in our Liberty Hole.
Which, dude, I don't.
If Kenny's teasing
you guys
another
look at
exhibition game, I'm quitting.
I've already said I wanted the Arkansas exhibition.
Why do y'all want What happened to the exhibition game when we used to play that all-star team? Jonathan texts me, and you're listening. I know you'll know the name of what that all-star team was we used to play in like the 90s and early 2000s.
Is it the Northwest?
I think Kelly Wise
University
played
Panda
for them.
Oh, yeah, dude.
After he left here, he played for them.
Kelly Wise looking like he just came off of Lamar, bro. I was like,
stop.
I'm not allowed to say that, Kenny.
Oh my goodness.
He's kidding.
Are you on NyQuil?
I am. I'm just joking. Kelly, I know you're listening. I'm sorry, man.
If you're listening, we know that you are, Kelly. Kenny apologizes. Holy Toledo. What was that team called? I'm about to text him, and I'm going to blurt it out later in the episode.
Kelly White?
No, I'm not I can't text Kelly Wise. Is Kelly Wise still around? I don't mean that like in it, like
So you think he's
negatively
also
about
on
him.
Lamar?
I just
What do you
don't
mean by
know.
that?
I just I haven't heard about him in a long time.
That's fair.
What are y'all's thoughts very quickly on Daniel Verituk not coming, but keeping his commitment?
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with that. I mean,
Also, I don't think I have a full understanding how that works. So he's going to play for overtime elite, but he's keeping his college eligibility.
well, why would he not be able to keep his college eligibility? Play for elite.
I don't know. I thought you went. Well, I don't.
Those,
I
the
mean,
over- I don't think overtime elite might have changed the way they do business, but when they first started, they were along the same lines as G League Ignite, right?
Yeah, that
Like,
was my understanding. I thought it
We're-
was like
yeah.
basically.
well, there
turning
is no
pro.
more G League,
Right. So they might have changed their. They might become like a
That's
feeder
the thing.
Hmm.
system, if you will, where they don't lose their amateurism.
Okay. So is he getting paid to play on this team?
I would suspect that that's probably a part of the deal is that he's not getting paid to play for them.
Yeah. I think it makes sense though, right? He had said, I think that he was anticipating getting redshirted. So it makes more sense for him to go instead of sitting, not to say he wouldn't be practicing or anything, but to
Well,
basically go an entire year and not play meaningful minutes in any games. It makes more sense to
Yeah.
go somewhere like that and play an entire season and then come in ready. Maybe.
Well, it sounds like what happened to me is that he was in a program where it was an online program where he could get, I guess, eligible to be able to play Division I basketball.
Yeah.
And that organization or whatever he was a part of folded and basically ghosted him. So even if there wasn't even an ability to redshirt, he couldn't get into the school because he didn't have the proper transcripts and
I feel
whatnot.
like that happens far too often.
Way too.
There's a lot of shady dude.
You
Yeah,
hear
the people
about
out there
these
scamming
made
and
up,
making money.
you hear about these made up schools.
What was the
Reach your
school that?
dreams.
What was the
Freaking Musa went to, right?
right?
What was it called? The Bishop Sycamore School.
Bishop
We need
Sycamore
to create.
School.
We need to create one of those. We need like a Bluff City High. We need to get. We need to get an ESPN primetime game scheduled. We need to trot out the three of us, Gabe. What would it? We need a football team. We need to get a full football team.
Did y'all
The
ever
two
see
of you and Gabe on the line would actually be probably pretty disgusting.
It'd be absurd.
TJ could be the center?
Ever see what?
Did you ever see the Bishop Sycamore documentary?
No, but I've heard about it. The Universal All-Stars, ladies and gentlemen. We played them
I never would
on
be able to tell you that.
November. Jonathan, I texted him. I told you. He said, "Oh gosh, I don't know," and then literally 45 seconds later, sent it to me. It's the box score. November the 4th, 2013. Not only did former Tiger Kelly Wise play for them, Jermaine Owsley played for them, and he actually kind of lit us up. He had 21 and 4 and 4.
Wow.
Kelly did not have a great night. He was 1 of 3 from the field, only had 2 points and 5 rebounds.
Wow.
What about our boy Paris London?
Paris is coaching at Hamilton at that point.
Was he?
Paris.
Trying to think of who else is on those team. McFag. Is he on? Scooter was on that team.
Scooter
was on that team.
Scooter was awesome.
My brother locked Scooter up in high school. Shout out, Brendan.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Was Scooter hurt?
Come on,
TJ.
I've heard Brendan tell stories about locking down.
You're going to sit here and
so now I don't believe anything. He locked down T-Head and Scooter. Yeah, right.
He didn't lock T-Head. He didn't lock T-Head down. No, don't believe that.
Wait, who told
you
you he locked
If you've never seen
T-Head
Trey's
down?
brother, Trey's brother looks like a Duck Dynasty member.
Well, currently,
100%.
he didn't look like that in high school.
Just to hear that guy.
He was Ridgeway's number one.
Elite.
He was Ridgeway's number 1 defender. He was the Tony Allen of Ridgeway High School.
Dang.
Except for he could light it up too. Anyway.
Okay, he didn't actually tell me he locked down T-Head, but
Yeah, that came out of nowhere. The Scooter thing's real though. All right, our final piece of basketball before we take a break. gents, the summer may be gone. Summer workouts may be over, but we officially have a strength and conditioning coach. And I did not look this up. This is a guess on my part. I'm going to WOLO this. Todd Forcier.
Good job.
Yeah, sounds good.
I think he's French, of French descent.
Wait, is it weird that we turn over that position so frequently?
No.
It's a little bit. I don't know that it's weird that we turn it over frequently. What's weird to me is that Darby left, came back, and left again. That's the weird turnover in the sense.
Yeah, he's at
I don't
Texas
think it's
now, bro.
I know, but he like originally left to go down there because of family, and then he came back because we needed him or he loved it here so much, and then a year later he's gone back down to Texas again. I don't know.
I'm not saying it's weird, but it just seems like we have a lot of turnover, specifically at the strength and conditioning position.
I think we do. I just don't know that it's. I don't
know that it's uncommon. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
I have no idea if that is or isn't.
It would be interesting to know who is running those workouts this summer, though.
Well, they have a staff. They just didn't have a coach, right? Like a guy who was leading that program. They have a staff of.
Yeah, but is that
trainers.
not like athletic trainers? Right?
Yeah, they have trainers.
To me, athletic trainer means like stretch
We're
me
saying,
out when I'm hurt or take
yeah,
me
you guys
out.
are saying two different things. Not like
I'm
Dale
saying
Turner.
like who led them through workouts.
They have a staff of. Todd Forcier comes in as that lead
This
guy.
dude says they have a staff.
Yeah, but he already has. There's already a staff in place. He doesn't get to hire his own guys.
Well, I'm sure he can, but they already have people.
So Darby bailed out and his staff just stayed around.
Damn, I don't know.
Why are you saying it like that? I'm just trying.
Why are you hating on Darby Rich?
I'm not.
Texas?
I'm not. I'm just saying he left. So I was just generally curious. I mean, were they doing P90X video team workouts at the facility this summer, or was somebody leading them through something? I don't know.
Who's the
They
Tybo guy?
found some of Frank's old workouts.
Oh my gosh, he's the same dude that did Insanity. TJ? What's that dude's name?
Tony
Insanity?
something.
No, Tony. Yeah, he was like the. Are you talking about P90X, the white dude or the black dude?
The black dude who
what is his name?
Billy something.
Tybo, Billy Blanks. Billy
Blanks. Yep.
Billy.
That's
Blanks.
Tybo. That's not P90X. That's Tybo.
Yeah, that's not who I was thinking of.
P90X was got a white dude named Tony something.
Yeah, it was. I keep about to say Tony Romo. Oh my gosh, what was his name? Oh, I was thinking
Tony
of
Horton.
Sean T. Yeah,
Tony Horton.
Sean T's the
that's the insanity guy. Yeah. Tony Horton.
Get some of his trampoline workouts.
Wow.
That guy.
I've seen those like bungee cord workouts that are all over the place.
Make me sweat, dude.
You just like throw
Not
yourself
that same.
around like a bungee from the ceiling.
I'm good on all that.
I kind of wish the basketball team would have released like a hype video of them doing that though. Or TJ sent me a video the other day of this like real basic white girl hip hop dance class, and there was one dad in there. But he was
Looks like a hell of a workout. I'll be honest with you.
I would love to see TJ in that class though.
0% chance.
I went to the gym the other day and they were doing a class, and it was a bunch of old white ladies, and they were listening to Incubus.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, am I getting that old? Like, am I getting that Incubus is now old white ladies workout music?
What was that? The Silver Sneakers class?
This is basically, yeah. There's one dude in there, and I'm like, pimp. That's all I said. Pimp.
I go to the Germantown Center, and the old people are just there for the free coffee Which
It
it's not
is
really
wild.
free because you're paying like $35 a
A
month
membership.
to be a member there, and then you go. I
Yeah.
guess it's like, oh, you look at it that way, it's all you can drink coffee.
It is like an
But then
absolute
they work out in like
huddle after.
yeah, that area is
They should all meet up
jam-packed.
there.
But when they are working out, at what age do you think you decide, hey, I'm putting this outfit on at 7 a.m. this morning, and I am not changing until I go to bed. I'm doing everything in it, including working out, because they walk in with like cargo khaki iron pants and a button-down shirt and will like jump on a leg curl machine. And I'm like,
Sit there
you couldn't
forever.
have thrown on a pair of gym shorts and like a t-shirt. And then they get off, they go drink the coffee and then hit up Perkins on the way out for a recovery meal.
There's an older gentleman that comes into our gym and he works out and he just grunts and groans during everything. So even stretching, he's like, real loud. And the sailor
I'm getting to that point.
I have headphones in my ear, so it doesn't bother me. Salem went with me one morning and she didn't have headphones in her ears. And she kept poking me. She was like, Daddy, that guy is bothering me. He was so loud.
Yeah. Are you listening to 911 calls while you work out?
I don't. I listen to, you know who my favorite listen to is?
Incubus.
I wish. It was until the old lady started playing it. I would throw on Make Yourself and hit shuffle and go to town. Like, yes, that album is the best. But I listen to a lot of Young Dolph when I work out. Shout out Young Dolph. Rest in peace, Young Dolph.
Okay. Interesting. Well, here's to Todd Forcier.
I have a question for you. I have a question for you about this.
Every time, TJ, I try to get a break, Kenny brings up an additional question.
Well, no, I just want to ask you guys a question as fans. Like, do you guys get all up in arms the way I see a lot of Memphis fans do about who the strength and conditioning coach is? Like, I see it all the time, and I'm like, who's their coach? Who's their strength coach? Who's their coach? And I'm like, who cares? Right? Like, is it a big deal to y'all?
No,
Well.
I don't. The only time I ever say anything about it is when you have a season like the Grizzlies had last season, and there's like an unreal amount of injuries, and I feel like that falls on that area of staff.
See, I would disagree there.
Which may not be the case. That may not be
athletic trainers.
true. But I'm also like, are they overworking them? Because most of the time, injuries are a result of being overworked. Unless it's just something truly freakish where else has like hit a nice patch on the Tulsa floor and somebody slips.
That's right.
But no, all that to say, I do not. I don't. I literally don't care one way or the other who the coach is. I mean, I would prefer that they have one.
Yeah, maybe. I guess my only.
I like that Todd he's had NBA experience. He's been at the collegiate level. He's worked with numerous basketball players throughout his career. It's not like they brought in somebody that's, I don't know, been training cyclist or something.
Do you think a football strength and conditioning coach could be a good basketball strength and conditioning coach?
Yeah.
Sure. Why not? I mean, you got to think their certifications are in the movement. It's not.
Yeah. I mean, they changed their approach to it, but I think for sure they could.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, as long as you have one, I don't think it's that big of a deal. The only reason I brought up earlier with all the turnover is just, we have said how many times on this show how big of believers we are in consistency and having some type of consistency. And it feels like we've changed that up a lot, and it's not a big deal. It's just more of a curiosity than anything. But no, I don't think it really matters, right? As long as you're not bringing in someone net new, or if it is someone who's net new, they've never been like a lead strength and conditioning coach. It's someone that's been around your program as an assistant, and it's someone you really believe in. Maybe something like that.
Although it does sound like Todd was the second choice.
Was that not the weirdest tweet ever?
So I mean, what? I don't even, how does that even come out?
What do you mean?
Why did he tweet that?
I don't know. I don't
Why
know.
did who tweet what?
Stop, TJ. You know what we're talking about.
No, you're being very vague with it.
Shabazz, the trainer, locally famous here. He trains a lot of athletes.
John Barlas being one of them.
I said athletes.
Oh, my bad.
Got in that beef on Twitter with Ja at one point.
I mean, I know who he is. He
came out and made a public address that he was so thankful he was the chosen candidate, but he was unfortunately unable to accept the position due to some kind of circumstances. Two things. Why are we interviewing people that literally know they can't accept the position? And two, why are we telling him, hey, you're our number one guy,
but we can't hire you?
Yeah, like I don't know.
Did we ever figure out why he couldn't accept the position? I don't get it.
I have no idea. I think before this had come around and he was a potential candidate. And wasn't he frustrated he didn't even get an interview, but it's because I think you have to have a degree or certifications and he didn't have those.
He has those though.
Well, he may now. I'm saying this was years ago when Penny first came on and I think he wanted it. I think that's what everybody said was he didn't have a college degree yet. I don't know. No, we don't. We have no idea why he was saying he couldn't accept it.
What a funny tweet though. I was like, you gotta imagine the people over at the University of Memphis were like, what the actual hell, dude?
Yeah, right.
Like, can you please thank you for telling me that I was your number one choice. I was like, wow.
I don't know. Well, it was
that I was
interesting.
The best man for the job.
Maybe it's a marketing scheme.
So whoever else, if you get this offer, just know it was me. You're welcome for turning it down or not
it's
being
complete
able
marketing.
to accept it.
He's putting it out there. He's like, look at Memphis. I was their number one option, but I couldn't take that. So, but if anybody else wants to hire me, I could be your number one too.
Yeah,
I'm with it. I think it's a smart play.
For Shabazz, it's a smart play.
Yeah,
absolutely.
On his part.
Well, yeah, that's who said it, right? So we're good.
I can just imagine the reactions. Really, bro?
You think Todd brought it up when they offered?
So this Shabazz guy, were you really, is he your number one? Am I your number two? Am I second place? Am I second fiddle?
100%.
Am I your side
People
piece?
need that realistic. They need that realism,
Speaking of second fiddle, when we come back from break, we'll talk about the second fiddle athletic program at the University of Memphis.
The pole vault.
I'd be too scared.
I couldn't even try it.
Okay, hold this. And then, is there something you put it in, like when they're running, it goes into something number one, I got to concentrate on running, holding it, and then put it in that little ass thing.
And then
here we go. No. Another one that I'm not trying. Kudos to all of y'all that get up there on that little skinny ass pole and go over with that bar.
Now, the people running the track, okay, now granted, I couldn't run that fast or I couldn't even run that far. But if I could, I don't know if I could stay in the lane.
My thing is just the distance people. Those people that run distance, and they're running these miles in 5 minutes, something like how you run that fast for that long? Like then they get to the end and they just run faster. And I'm just like, bro, you're making me tired.
Tune in to the Night Court Podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
We sometimes don't go back to that old school, take advantage of your mismatch. And if you do it until the other team can stop it. A lot of times, even with the Grizzlies, I've seen where we would have certain mismatch, we may go to it twice and we would go away from it just because of, I guess, coaching fatigue or play fatigue. We didn't do that back in the green grind era when Zach Randolph had a mismatch. We knew what was coming.
Jab.
So that's my thing with Edey. Like, if he has these mismatches and it's working, continue to feed him and allow him to pass out of the post, out of the double team, whatever they throw at him, and then we can kind of work from there. Don't overthink when Edie's out on the floor, especially late in game. If we play in a team that don't have a legit center, like I'm gonna throw somebody out there, the Warriors. What is Draymond gonna do at center trying to guard Zach Edey, bro?
Get 6 fouls in a tick.
Tune into the No Bluffing Podcast with your hosts, Christian Ingram and Evan Hayes, every Monday at 12 p.m. only on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
I'm not going to lie on that question on the Bluffing podcast when they just asked what Draymond would do guarding Zach Edey. My literal answer was hit him in the nuts and get a flagrant.
That's what he would do.
I mean,
get
100%.
foul.
Get suspended
And then go on his podcast
and talk about it.
and talk about it.
Fellas, we are less than 2 weeks away from college football.
Oh my God. I'm so ready.
Well, sorry, Memphis Tiger football. We are literally in week 0 this week. We have college football on Saturday. I don't know if you guys have been on X today or this weekend. Is there a bad omen for Memphis football? Our X profile has disappeared and is no longer on the platform. What the heck is going on? Is our football season about to be canceled?
I mean, I can tell you my hypothesis.
What's your hypothesis?
Oh God.
Is that
Oh Jesus.
the only thing that makes sense is Tulane flag the Memphis account
Yeah.
for something inappropriate and just try to get them kicked
They
off. Right,
reported
their
us.
recruiting is too good, so they need to do something to basically pull us down, and they stooped really low.
Reported
but
us.
It's the only thing that makes sense.
No, the Memphis football Twitter account was being flagged for spreading disinformation. That's what it was.
Mm.
What information was that?
If I spread it, we might get our whole shit taken down.
Yeah, that's true.
They wouldn't. They wouldn't touch the #1 college football podcast in the city.
In the world, bro.
No, supposedly
They're
it's a
telling
simple
us.
fact that X reached out and said, "Hey, we need you to re-verify some credentials for us," and we got locked out. So, Elon, if you're listening, we know that you are because you're in the city.
You're
Why
you're building a
wouldn't
super battery here or whatever it is.
It's already here. It's up and running. It's going.
It's up and running now.
Mainframe.
Yeah, I think they turned it on like 2 weeks ago, didn't they?
Well, let's
Am I
go,
making that-
Elon.
Am I making that up?
You may be.
I will say
but it's
I have
okay.
seen. I'm fairly certain it's on.
Let me see. Is Elon's battery
What's it
on
called? It's not a battery. It's a computer.
supercomputer?
No, it's definitely a battery. They're just turning on
Is
one
it a
big
battery?
battery. No, making fun of this dork.
Artificial intelligence
Uh,
supercomputer. It's not up
I
yet,
will-
Trey. You don't build something like that quick, man. That takes a while.
I know. I really thought somebody said the other day that it was on. They turned it on. Are you sure?
I haven't seen anything up.
I'll
About-
say I don't. I've seen an uptick in the amount of cyber trucks that I've seen in the city in the last 2 weeks, though.
That is true.
Are y'all going to get a
will-
Cybertruck at some point?
Oh, they're
Literally,
trash.
no. I
mean,
think it's the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, I
I've
saw
never
one
saw-
this week, and I was like, "No, I'm good on all that."
there's a better chance
Legitimately,
I get
I
one of
hadn't
those.
seen one until June, and I saw one, and in the last 2 weeks, I have seen 4 different ones, and I know that they're different because they've been different colors.
Oh, they are different color. I've only seen that gunmetal gray or whatever it is.
I've seen
Yeah,
an
most of them.
original gunmetal gray. I've seen one that was wrapped black. I've seen another one that was wrapped in like a weird hulkish green kind of metallic-y color.
Mm.
And then I can't remember what the other one was. But I've seen 4 in the last 2 weeks.
I mean, is it the world's ugliest car? It has to
Yeah.
be, right? Like it's.
I don't
Yeah.
know. There's a Hyundai out there that I think isn't it a Hyundai? TJ was that
No.
you? I think
Shut your mouth,
somebody
dude.
sent
The Santa Fe is nice.
The Hyundai Santa Fe is nice. I used to drive one.
No, the new
don't
one's
think that's-
completely different though.
I don't think that's the one I'm talking. I don't think it's the Santa Fe.
Well, I think I would drive one of those Honda Ridgeline trucks before I would drive a Cybertruck.
No, not a Ridgeline.
Yeah,
no.
the new Santa Fe is the one that kind of gives off like Range Rover vibes.
Yeah, it looks nice, I think.
That's not the one I'm
All
thinking
things
of.
considered.
Anyway, the Cybertruck is hideous. I don't understand it.
It's
just-
bragging rights to say you have it, I guess.
So did we agree? Is it a bad omen or not that we were kicked off Twitter?
No, it's
Or is this Silverfield turning the blinders on? He said, we're getting rid of our official football account. We're focusing on nothing but this season and week to week going.
That's what it is.
Hmm.
That's exactly what I think you cracked the code. That's what it is.
That's something he would 100% say. But I
That's
don't
what
know.
I'm going with. That's my hypothesis.
No, I don't think it's a bad omen. It's just one of those things you like kind of put to the wayside. You're like, oh yeah, I need to verify that later. Let me run it by Brock, or you run it by Angela, somebody else, and then you just kind of forget. You go to lunch, you go to Firehouse, you get a
Did
club
you
on a
just make
sub.
up a name? Who's Angela?
I don't know.
He just made up a name.
She's just throwing names out.
I said Brock. Brock's a real guy.
Brock's a real name.
What is the media lady's name? Is her name not Angela?
It's Claire.
No, not Claire. The other lady. She ran like the actual media side of things. I know Claire.
I don't know.
There's another lady there. I'm pretty sure her name's Angela, and you're gonna have to apologize to
Was
me.
Angela from Firehouse or Memphis?
Damn it. Angela may have been from Firehouse. No, her name's Angela. Angela Johnson, maybe.
It's Claire Johnson.
Okay. This is getting out of
Sorry,
hand.
Claire, to put your name out there. It's getting out of control.
I'm Googling it
This
now. I'm
is-
pretty sure I'm right.
Ridiculous. All right. We're jumping into depth chart. TJ is our depth chart expert. We're going to start offense first. Some of these we're going to do mostly just starters. We're not giving too deeps, but the obvious ones we may get a little bit further down. So we will start with QB1, obviously Seth Hennigan. Who's QB2?
Dude, that's maybe like the biggest question on the depth chart. The most important question, I think, on the depth chart is who's quarterback 2, right? And I think that's kind of like a silly thing to say, and I think a lot of people will hear that and be like, "That's ridiculous." We're talking about the second string quarterback because if anything were to happen to Seth, I mean, not that I want anything to happen, but there's been tons of times last year where he played hurt. Like, who's
TJ
the next
far
guy
too
up?
often uses the phrase "if anything were to happen to Seth." Far too frequently. He's
I think he has to
manifesting
be
it.
prepared for stuff like that. Because again, how many times was Seth hurt last year? How many times did he play hurt last year? It was like the first
don't know.
5 games of the season.
Does a broken heart count as hurt? Heaven forbid that
no.
happens.
But to answer your
'Cause my
question, I
dude
think
is
the easy.
in love.
You done?
Yeah, go ahead.
The easy one, I think, for a lot of people to want to write in is Arrington Maiden, but I think they're going to redshirt him.
True Frosh. It's got to be Cade, right? He's already familiar with.
Nah, I don't know. I mean,
No?
if you ask me, I think Harris Boyd is who I would
Okay.
put at QB2.
Harris
Me
did look
personally.
pretty decent in the spring stuff.
But like, I see your logic, right? Cade's been with Grams for a while now, so it
Right.
makes sense. But me personally, I'm going to go Harris Boyd.
Okay. Let's stick in the backfield. Running back. Give me 3 here because we have. Well, I'm going to say 4 because sticking with the French theme. I'm not going to lie. In fall camp, De Rosier's name has come up multiple times, more frequently than I was anticipating. So it sounds like you kind of have 4 there with De Rosier, BT, Sutton, and Super Mario.
Yeah. to be one of those things where we get a Mario Anderson or Mario for Cramsey. Cramsey calls him Mario.
Mario.
Drives me insane. You're going to
It's
get
that New Hampshire
Mario,
accent.
Mario or Sutton for sure. I think those two are interchangeable, and I do think you'll get DeRosier worked in situationally, right? It's the same thing with BT. He has been the goal line back last year. He completely locked that down.
Yeah, you're inside the 5, and it's BT.
Yeah, which is kind of upsetting because I was looking forward to seeing Bodyford get some snaps, but I think they'll probably redshirt him because of how much they have at running back already.
Sure,
but I'll take it. So
all right,
Sutton or Mario Sutton or DeRosier. It's going to be an or. They always do that. I think
okay.
that's
They
a
didn't
lot.
do it. They didn't do it last year, so I'm going to assume they're probably not doing it this year either. This was more of a Norvell thing where they would announce a halfback and a tailback.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think we see that,
Mm.
or some sort of utility like Sutton? They're going to line up maybe out wide in the slot or different ways to find him the ball. Are they going to list him as a starter at some other sort of? No,
I think he'll just get
an
the
or
designation at running back.
Yeah. A 3-or chart there for the running backs. All right, let's bump up to the big uglies up front. Give me your 5 across the line.
Do you want them in starting position or
start
just
with
5?
the center? Go center. Yeah, give me position.
Yeah. So if you're saying center, it's going to be Trent Holler. I know there was all the talk of Gamble playing center, but that was just because Holler was beat up, right? It's going to be Trent Holler at center. Behind him, it's probably your toss up. I think situationally they're in a better position. If Holler were to get hurt, you would move Gamble over to center and then replace Gamble with the next man up at left guard, Mitch Godahouse, maybe something like that. But if you're looking for starting center, Trent Holler, left guard, I think will be Jonah Gamble, left tackle. I do think this one's tough for me. Jalen Nichols, I think, is going to end up being the starting left tackle, and that's who I'll write in right now. I think he's going to be back and healthy enough. I think that's who will start there. Going to the right side, Xavier Hill for right guard, and then right tackle, Keydrell Lewis seems like the easy fit there. I mean, he has a lot of experience under his belt already, coming over from ULM. Seems like a lock at right tackle, but I know a couple of those names could be interchangeable for a lot of people.
Yeah. And I mean, we've heard it twice. I think Cramsey said it the other day. I know Coach Myers said it a week or so ago. They feel like they have 8 capable starters on the offensive line in that room. And in comparison to last year, saying they were just searching for 5. So, I mean, there's like, I noticed no mention of Malachi from you. No Chris Adams, which those are guys that are very capable, I think. And I don't think we would be shocked to see them rotated in there at any important time.
Yeah, I think the only issue with Breland is he is a guard, and I don't see Gamble moving to the wayside considering how long he's been a starter for us, or Xavier Hill, who's arguably your best offensive lineman. Yeah. I don't see him moving away from guard either. So you get into that situation of Breland's really good, and he's probably the next man up. If someone were to get hurt at a guard position, I could see that. I don't know if he has the flexibility to be left guard or right guard. He's mainly played right guard so far. I know they like to move those guys around a lot, but it's not unheard of. I know they definitely think very highly of him though. So I could see him getting this play.
All right. Sometimes it's that 6 blocker or he splits out. Give me the tight end. I think we know who it is.
Landfair, right? I mean,
yeah. You go double wide. You go jumbo. You throw in Brendan out there also.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, splitting out wide.
I will
say, okay, say it.
I am curious who gets that third tight end type of position. I know they don't often run 3 tight ends. Chisholm seems
what I
like the
was
easy
gonna
one to
say.
pencil in. But depending on what they're wanting to do, I could see Christian Ross getting some play there. Chisholm's a big guy.
Okay. We didn't mention it, but in a fullback scenario, Chisholm's fullback, right?
Yeah, 100%. But I think Christian Ross is big and very athletic. I could totally see him getting some play out there. And I think that'd be exciting for a lot of people because he is Sean Dykes, but not Sean Dykes-esque in the way that he can move, but he's much bigger than Sean Dykes.
Okay. All right. We split out wide. Obviously, Rock, Kobe, Demir are your three.
Mhm.
Give me 4, 5, and 6.
Oh man. Excuse me.
Talk about Shorter. He's got to be one, right?
Shorter seems like a good one to work in there.
Is Hawkins going to be Jamari Hawkins, Marcelo
I think it'll
Bussy?
be
Ryan mentioned Marcelo Bussy in the
When is that new
availability.
Bussy's opening in Fayette County?
Is Keandre Henry going to play?
I don't know, man. That's so tough. Like we talk about this all the time. Anytime someone mentions a true freshman playing, it's like, what are we talking about? Like the game is so different. It is so hard for someone to come off high school football and just walk into a college stadium and just start. It's so rare too, right? He may get some play. I don't think you're going to see a lot from him. I think if we're talking the next three, Shorter, Busey or Bussy, I don't know. I don't think we've ever got any clarity there. The guy that transferred from Houston looks pretty good. But I think he and Hawkins are kind of one and the same in what they do. They're smaller, slighter guys, but very quick.
Was that Banks that transferred?
Banks, thank you. Yeah, Banks.
Kobe?
Yeah.
I tell you though, on college football, Hawkins is fast as all get out. Him and Shorter drag routes across the middle is absolutely deadly.
Yeah.
If you hit him in stride, what?
I don't know if that's how things work in real life, but
I'm sure it's not, but I'm just saying on the video game, at least the two of them across the middle is unstoppable at times. All right, let's get to D. Give me the front four guys.
This is so tough to me. I mean, you've got, I think it's hard to not write in Cormonte at an end position.
Gotta be
Patrick Lucas at D tackle, or
okay.
They have weird naming conventions. The next end is where things I think get a little interesting for me personally, because I want to say Derek Hunter, but I could also see one of the 17 transfer defensive linemen that they brought in get play there as well.
Okay. No Whitlow.
I think Whitlow plays more of the edge. I think he is Jalen Allen. So I think he's going to be your fourth guy. And I'm Cormonte, Lucas. I think that's going to be Derek Hunter or maybe Baldwin. And then Whitlow. Okay. I think Whitlow will be your edge guy coming off the edge. But then that's interchangeable because Reggie Grimes seems like he is otherworldly when healthy.
Oh gosh, yeah, I forgot about Reggie. He's not on the game.
I think he was
we need a roster update. I would love a big year out of Trench Baby. Wearing that number 6. You throw on a single digit as a D tackle, and you better be bringing it.
Oh, I mean, I want a big year out of anyone on the defensive line, any defensive lineman. I feel like it's been a while since we've had that, right? And you got a lot of guys coming back. Spears is coming back. It's kind of unlucky for him that you bring in Patrick Lucas when Spears is kind of about to potentially set himself up for a really big year. But then you bring in big PJ Lucas like that. Josh White, another guy that's probably going to get some run at some of the depth D-line stuff. So,
All right. Jumping in the linebacker, obviously locked down Chandler Martin, Elijah Herring. But with Javante Mackey being out this year, torn ACL, I think. Who's that third? Who's getting that third linebacker spot?
I think if you made me pick, I'm going to pick Jaden Flaker just because of his mobility and how quick he is. He's very productive at his previous school. I know that's kind of a wild card there.
TJ's a big Flaker guy in college football 25. He told me to throw Flaker out there for his speed. So no Matt Hudson or Bryce from you in that third spot?
I just think it just depends, right? It's going to be hard to know what kind of defensive formation they're going to be in, right? I don't think it's a guaranteed 3-4 every time. I think we know they're going to change it up. It could be 4-2-5. It could be 4-3. Like they're going to change that up so often that it's going to be hard to consistently nail down exactly who the linebackers will be, right? And there could be situations where they're going 4-4 against Navy. Like this is 1995. Something wild like that. So there could be a situation where you get 4 actual linebackers, but they're just going to rotate so many guys. It's hard to say, but I think your guarantees are Elijah Herring, Chandler Martin, and I'm sticking with Flaker. I think that he's most likely to be out there because to me, Hudson's more of a middle linebacker, and I think Elijah's also a middle linebacker. So you kind of get into a situation there where it's like, obviously you're not going to take him out. You guess you can move him over because he does seem to have some athleticism there, but I would feel safer at putting Flaker at outside linebacker.
Okay. All right, jump into the secondary. Give me the corners.
No one freaking knows, dude. No one knows.
No one knows.
Davion, I swear on my life, if Davion Ross is not back at corner, I'm going to be so upset.
So you think they move him out of that star position?
I do. I think they should. So I'm going to say that they should and that they will because they listen to the show. They hear us. They know what I'm saying. I think you move Davion back to the outside, and I think that you get Kobe Minor is one that everyone seems to really be raving on. And I know at first I was kind of like, how good could this guy be? He came from a 3-9 defense. We brought in PJ Lucas. How good could he be? He came from like a 3-9 defense. Like, are these really the guys we want? But everything I've heard is Kobe Minor is the real deal.
I will say this, friend of the program, Gabe Kuhn was talking about Kobe the other day. Is it true? I'm looking it up, but he made it sound like Kobe might have locked up Marvin Harrison Jr. when they played Ohio State this year. Is that factually correct?
I don't know.
They lost 23-3. I'm about to look at what Marvin's stats were in that ball game.
Yeah.
He had 2 catches for 18 yards. No tutties.
Okay.
There ain't a wide receiver in the AAC that gets close to Marvin Harrison Jr.
This year, maybe, yeah. That's probably true.
Is there?
No, I said this year, you're probably right.
I mean, besides Rock. But he ain't going to have to be defending Rock on Saturdays.
I think that the thing with the DBs is there's so many moving parts, right? I mean, you have Kobe Miners coming in. Who's the other guy they brought in? They brought in another corner. And it's going to blow my mind. He's from Elon. You're going to make me look this up, dude.
Oh, Jaden Dennis.
Jaden Dennis. Thank you. Jaden Dennis is another guy at his previous school was great. I mean, I think he was all conference, something like that. So it's hard for me to just write him off as an option. But from everything I've heard, it's going to be Kobe Minor.
He interned with Elon. Is that what you said?
Didn't he go to Elon? Is that where he's from?
Like Elon Musk?
The school? How do you pronounce it?
I don't know what the hell Elon is.
What?
What division is that?
2, I guess.
Okay. No, they're FCS.
Oh, okay. I never heard of Elon, dude. The Phoenix. He was very good there, regardless. That's where I was coming from. But you have DJ Bell, who started some for us last year.
Angela Bell.
Got kind of beat up. The Angela Johnson is real. I'm gonna find this and send it over.
I'm
to you. I
sure there
promise
is.
she's
Yes,
immediately.
I'm sure.
In the
Johnson
football
is a
program, you
person.
clown. And then Tyron Taylor was great kind of at the end of last year, but he plays more of the slot kind of situation. So, final answer: Davion Ross and Kobe Minor at corner. I'll go ahead and jump to the safety since I know you're going to ask. Greg Rubin seems to have locked up one spot. The question is, what do you do at the other safety position? Will it be Cortland Marsh? Will it be Jordan Greer? Will it be AJ Watt? Will it be Marjavius Moss? There's so many options of other guys that could play that have either moved around or come into Memphis. I would feel safe putting in Cortland Marsh probably, but I would not be one bit shocked if you do have a Jordan Greer sighting there, or even however you want to view the star position with Darius Kofi. That's kind of like a pseudo safety corner role, kind of a nickel role there. So I could see any combination of that. I do think Kofi will get the start. He is the team captain, one of the team captains.
He filled in for Ross when he went out.
When did he change his name from Coffee to Kofi?
I think it's Coffee, and our friend Charlie calls him Kofi, and it's just messed with my brain.
Okay, because I was like, they sell coffee, and Darius Coffee sells coffee, and I was like,
Coffee's coffee.
I think it's Coffee.
I need to get it,
and he's just messed with my head for now. Now
I got to get a half
almost
cap.
Flip this whole desk.
So Coffee, if you're listening, we know you are. Let's hook a brother up with a half calf. Coffee's coffee. What? Are you shaking your head?
No. I'll take a pound of it. I love it.
Some of us are caffeine sensitive, TJ.
No, it must be
respectful. All right, final kick returner, punt returner, Kobe Drake, Sutton Smith. That's all that matters. Who's lined up back there with Sutton though? Shorter or somebody that's just lightning fast?
I wouldn't be shocked. The Rosier is fast.
I don't think we're going to be bringing many kicks out, though. We're big on the start at the 25 thing, which I have adopted in college football 25 because I will say trying to return a kickoff is nearly impossible. I can't even get to the 20 if I bring it out.
It's definitely.
I don't know what it is, but this year's game, I can't do it. All right, that wraps up TJ's depth chart predictions. We're moving in to Brett McMurphy earlier today released his preseason bowl projections. He does not have the Tigers making the playoff. He has Texas State from the Sun Belt making the playoff as the 12 seed. Did either one of you see where he has the Tigers going?
No,
I didn't see it.
He's got us in the Wasabi Fenway Bowl playing Syracuse.
It's the same bowl every single year.
Yeah, always Wasabi or whatever they used to call it. It hasn't always been Wasabi. Fenway Bowl, Syracuse with us as a 2.5 point favorite.
Does he say what the projected wins are for us to land there?
No, he did not give a record or anything. But I'm assuming he probably has us at like 10-2, and he thinks a 2-loss team. Maybe he's putting Texas State as undefeated in the Sun Belt and giving them the nod for that playoff spot.
Yeah, I mean, whoever's going to make it's more than likely going to be undefeated, or it'll be a
I want to say
like,
Texas State plays. Yeah, there's no way. They play UTSA week 2. They play Arizona State week 3. I mean, I know that they're supposed to be pretty decent this year, but
that'd be shocking if
Memphis falls apart. If Memphis or Boise fall apart, it's going to be Liberty in the college football playoffs because they're going to be undefeated.
Yeah, they have the easiest
Liberty
schedule.
Liberty.
I will say, and I told
Nobody
Trey about this
freaking
the other
Liberty.
day. I listened to 2 different podcasts. Just talking about, I was cutting the grass, just had time to spare. Just college football podcasts talking about the group of 5. They individually covered Memphis both times, and they were dropping games like, I think they all had, both of them had 3 losses, so 9-3. Florida State consensus. Everyone expected that one, but then the other one was like they lost to
South Florida.
Yeah, probably.
I'm sure
Yeah,
South
it was
Florida
like
was
a,
one of them.
Yeah.
well, one guy had South Florida as the second loss, and then a loss to UAB, and then the other was
Clowns.
FSU, Tulane, and Rice or something like that. It was like losing some of those random games. So I'm like, damn, this guy actually may watch Memphis football a lot, because like that makes perfect sense for us to
If we
win out
lose
some
at
of these
home
games and then
to
lose to
Rice
Rice or something like that.
in the
just to
freaking
really
Liberty
shit
hole,
on the.
I
Yeah,
will
dude.
flip out. Flip out.
Jacksonville State's supposed to be pretty good. They're on Liberty's schedule. I could see them getting funky.
Well, they play at New Mexico week 2, or New Mexico State, it looks like.
I was like, New Mexico is atrocious, so
Yeah, I
that's not
know.
going to
I
be an
meant
issue.
New Mexico State, who won at Auburn last year. I mean, I don't know how much New Mexico State's bringing back, but that's no walk in the park week 2. They got East Carolina 2 weeks later. Maybe our American
MTSU.
Conference teammates can do something. We play several MTSU. They got Troy. No. Anyway, I don't know.
They have Troy?
No, they don't. I think Troy's on the other side. Right? Isn't Liberty in Conference USA?
Yeah.
Or Troy's
Sure
in the
they are.
Sun Belt, aren't they?
Yeah, Troy's
Yeah.
unconference USA.
Yeah. Okay. All right, fellas, we mentioned earlier today in the show, it is week 0 officially, which means, ladies and gentlemen, 50-50 TJ and Thunder picks are officially back. I mean, unofficially, officially, this week, we're not going to count it against you if you lose. We're starting at 50-50 TJ, and depending on how his season is going, it will either turn to fade TJ or ride TJ.
Mm-hmm.
That second, we got to maybe improve the name, I think, on
Ride
tell you
with TJ.
Ride TJ is where
Yeah.
we're staying. We're staying with Ride TJ.
It's got to fit in the banner, TJ. So it's going to be fade TJ or ride TJ.
Well, it just,
That's
yeah,
just
I
what
just
it's
feel
gonna
like we
be.
could do better than ride TJ
Well,
personally.
we can't. And, you know, the Believe Network believes in us, and I'm going to believe in us. And I think that it works.
You know who I believe in?
Hold on. Let me read to the people what our slate is in week 0. Ladies and gentlemen,
so many
11 a.m.
games.
ESPN on Saturday. As Tiger fans, you need to tune into this because you get a little bit of a scouting report. Florida State, Georgia Tech from Dublin. Not a bad matchup. 3 o'clock on FS1, you got Montana State, New Mexico. 7 p.m. on CBS Sports Network, you got former American Conference rival SMU taking on Nevada. And then to wrap it up, I mean, this is a quadruple header from 11 p.m. or 11 a.m. until kickoff at 11 p.m., wrapping the night up. And then you got Delaware State at Hawaii. So, TJ, for your first unofficial, official 50-50 TJ pick, what are you riding with?
Can I only pick between those games?
Are there other available betting games?
No, I guess you're right.
That's all I've seen. Why, you were going on a lower level?
No.
You can give another one if the people can find it on a
No,
another-
the issue is that I was looking at a list of games that were not August 31st. And so it was misleading, making me
You're getting
think that
some
my game was
29th
week
games on
0,
there.
but it was actually a 29th game. Yeah.
Yeah, that first Thursday is heavy on games.
Yeah. That's all I said. My thing was throwing me off. It had so many.
Well, we'll save that for next week.
I think SMU 27 is a lot of points, but the over at 56, I think I would take the over at 56 on SMU Nevada.
Wow. Okay. Over 56.5 SMU Nevada. I'm going opposite of you. I'm taking an under, and I'm taking the under 55.5 Florida State, Georgia Tech, because those boys, it's week 0. They're flying to Dublin. I'm just expecting some ugly offense. And Florida State may figure it out, and it may end up being like a 42-7 type of thing. But I'm taking that under. We'll see how that works. We'll be back next week. And if you win, TJ, it's ride TJ. If you lose, it's fade TJ. All right, let's hop into this Watermalone. And then I need to go turn my literal water on in the backyard and get my crispy grass nice and thick and luscious.
It's wild to me that you're a PM water guy.
I'm not PM. I'm very early morning, but I got to turn the thing on. Got to turn the timer on.
I just leave mine on.
I usually do, but I haven't been. It hasn't been turned on, and I watered it this morning because it needed it so bad that I got to go reset it now. Otherwise, it'll turn on at like 8 o'clock, like it did this morning.
Okay. Watermalone. I think it's kind of a cool can. I mean, all things considered, I don't know if you can see that because it's all backwards, but
I like the can. It is, I will say, cool. I'm going to have to deduct points because it's a little bit kid-friendly-esque. And I could see Catherine or any other kid seeing this in a fridge and going to grab it thinking it's some kind of like fun juice for them. So it's a little bit too kiddie for an alcohol bev. I mean, Sayla would pop one of these in no time with that. Look at those cute characters on there. She comes home from volleyball practice.
What
and
is
it's
this
like, this
energy
watermelon energy drink looks fantastic.
That's exactly what would happen.
It's better than most, but it's a little bit too kiddie. So I'm going like 6.8. It's a good can, but I got to deduct points.
see,
I'm going the other way. Face vibes that I got. Is it just the googly eyes that's doing that to me?
Hi there, face here. Is that better?
Yeah, that was good. And then Stick, wasn't that his name? The little popsicle stick.
Stickly.
Stick. Oh my god!
Got that one.
I want to get a custom Memphis jersey that has Stickly on the back, and be number 1. Holy cow!
You deducted points. I'm going to give this points because I know the background story to Watermalone. So I respect that.
Oh, what is it? You didn't tell me. You got to tell me background stories before I give a score. If that's the case, you can't be holding in stories.
Pop culture. It was like an old Vine video. This guy going, Watermalone. He just says watermelon wrong. He's referring to it as watermelon.
For those of you outside of our close friend group that's listening to this, TJ, I mean, if there's anyone on this planet that should have been Vine famous, it was TJ Willis.
I tried.
TJ had some absolutely fantastic Vines back in the day.
I tried. It didn't work out for me.
Like if that app was still around, I would not be shocked if TJ had millions of followers.
I think I'm gonna give it. I mean, I don't love it. It's I see what you're saying. Like a kid could see this and think it's funny, or I think it's fun. But I kind of like the can. I'll probably give it.
Even the font is very like kid-esque. You know what I mean? Like the alcohol content font is kind of like, I don't know.
I'm gonna go with 6.8 on the can. I think
a little bit risque there by Meddlesome. What'd you say?
I think it's like a 6.8.
Wow. Same score, huh?
I told you I had bonus points for knowing the background. And I like the little dots. I think the dots fading out, fading in. It's a good look.
Yeah, it is. I do like that. I like that. I like the watermelon like rind look to it in the background. The beer was just okay. I was expecting it's good.
What was your can score? I didn't get a number.
A 6.8. Yeah, that's why I said you gave the same score.
Oh, I didn't hear you say that.
I think subconsciously you did because you also gave 6.8.
I'd already written my score down though.
It sounded like the right score.
Yeah, but my score's already been written down, though. That's the thing.
When did you write it down? You can't be early scoring. That's cheating.
When I pull up the thing, I go ahead and type mine in.
I don't know that I like that. I always give an authentic on-the-spot score. TJ's out here grabbing the can at 6 o'clock this morning and scoring it in his Excel sheet.
What is your beer score, child?
I just don't know that the listener appreciates that. It's okay. I honestly, when you had said this was the one we were drinking, I got very excited because I was like, this is probably going to be, you know what I thought it was going to kind of be like was that Hush Main beer. Where it's just like such a summertime, like that's really not.
It was not that.
I didn't get a whole lot of watermelon vibe from it, which is, I mean, I don't know how a watermelon beer would maybe be anyway, but I like watermelon a lot. TJ and we were at
6 pieces of watermelon the other day.
Yeah, he got mad at me about it, honestly. We had a baby shower this weekend. We were in charge of fruit. So Natalie and I brought watermelon. I chopped it up myself, and then I went there and got some, and TJ was like, why the hell are you eating watermelon?
Watermelon is the most overrated fruit
It really
of all
is.
time.
Oh, it can be. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, you got to get a good one, and it's hard to get a good one.
I don't even like.
But I'll tell you, I'll walk.
No.
Hmm.
You putting salt on it?
I have, but I don't do that consistently. No. I walked into Kroger's the other day and I smacked this bad boy, and it sounded just right, and it was good. It's a good melon.
Show us your melon smacking technique.
You just spank it. It's a watermelon. You spank it.
Well,
There was an older lady.
Everybody knows this, but what's your other hand doing?
Holding it. I was holding the melon. And
how do
I can't get in the frame because you got it so little. I'm just holding it, and on top, I got my hand under it.
Is it under or to the side?
Yeah, I can't palm a watermelon. Are you serious?
So do you like hold it up and then just?
Yeah, then you give it a good smacking.
Full palm, or is it like the fingers?
Yeah, the fingers are involved. I mean, I got to get wide. It was a big melon to be able to support it fully and give it a good hard smack.
Yeah, it's good technique.
Just talking watermelon smacks.
I think your technique is at least an 8-7.
When I did it, there was an older lady in there that said, "Oh yeah." That's how I knew that it was right.
What's your beer score?
Is that what we're doing? It's just so average. I mean, I don't want to be ugly. The 5s feel wrong, but 6 seems too high, so I don't know where to go. 6 flat? That's boring, but that's what it feels like.
No, I think that's fair. I'm with you. I'm not a big watermelon guy. I'm with Kenny. I think it's very overrated. So when I got this can, I was like, oh, it's fun because that's watermelon. But I was like, I don't really like watermelon. And then I tried it and I was like, I like that it doesn't.
I don't
taste
really like
watermelon.
Oh, you liked it. Okay.
I liked it because it's not very watermelon-y.
Yeah. There's if this was blind label, guessing that this was a watermelon wheat would have been.
Oh, I'd have no clue.
I'm not sure that I would have gotten there.
No,
not sure I would have ever
been able to tell you what it was. There's pros and cons. The pro is it doesn't taste like watermelon. The con is I think it's supposed to taste like watermelon.
How old are these? You've been notorious for that.
Oh, I don't know.
That might be part of the problem.
I don't can them.
Wow. Meddlesome, we don't get a born on date on these bad boys?
2021. Okay.
You're lucky I already gave my can score. I would deduct more for no born on date.
Instead, but I got a team of pumpkin heads. This is athletic. He struggles to lift the weight, but I got Watermalone to keep me in shape. This is romantic. He struggles to get the ladies, but dating the breeze in my Watermalone Mercedes.
Can I see what this person looks like?
He's got a watermelon on his head.
I feel like TJ died at this vine when it. 100% TJ died at this.
To soothe my slumber. This is hygienic. She showers with Pantene.
Hey, Kenny, see if you can find a TJ Willis vine real quick.
I think they took it away, man.
What was the one you did? Didn't you do one with a broom that like you like made the broom stand up on its own or something? But then you, okay, whatever, forget it. I just remember Brendan used to think they were very funny too.
So go back to the beer score. You said what, a 6? Is that what you gave it?
6 flat, because it's
6
just
flat.
kind of a flat. It's just a flat kind of beer.
I gave it a 6.5 only because I gave it bonus points for not tasting like watermelon, and I didn't deduct any for it not tasting like watermelon. I probably should have, I admit that, but I was kind of glad it didn't. So 6.5 for me.
That's fair.
It's fine. I think if you drink it and you
Yeah, it's
had
fine.
had a little koozie on it, you didn't know it's supposed to be watermelon. Someone just said, "Here's a free beer." You try and be like, "Oh, this is decent."
Yeah, that's fine. You're not spitting it out. You'd finish it.
Yeah.
But then you'd
I don't
probably be
think I'd
shocked
drink
when
2
you
of
took
these.
out the cartoon can and you're like, wow, this was a watermelon energy drink. Didn't get that.
Fair.
All right. Well, we will close out episode 89. Come back next week. We'll have it'll be game week, ladies and gentlemen. We will have our season superlative guesses, and we'll do a run through projection wise of the schedule, TJ and I.
Y'all were both 100. Y'all both were spot on, right? Last year, 10-3.
I think we did get it.
Yeah, I think we got the
I might.
I don't know if we got that.
I think
1-to-1 game.
I think I did 10-2. Maybe.
Well, y'all
I don't
didn't
remember.
y'all didn't count a bowl game, I think.
Okay, you're right. Right. So I think I was, yeah. So we will have that, and then
Mhm.
it's UNA week. The Lions are coming to town.
Cannot wait. Oh my God.
We'll be in the Liberty Hole before you know it. So come back with a cold beer, stay for our hot takes. Peace.
If you enjoyed this episode of Tigers Untapped, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Like and subscribe at Bluff City Media's YouTube page. Head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co for comprehensive coverage of Memphis sports.